Brad here from the Tombstone Rider. As a longtime riders, a trip to the legendary Sturgis Motorcycle Rally had been on our bucket list due to its unique blend of breathtaking rides, immersive motorcycle culture, and the camaraderie of a massive biker gathering. It's more than just a rally. It's a celebration of motorcycle culture and a chance to experience the stunning Black Hills region. For nearly a century, the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally has been an epicenter of motorcycle culture. Billy, Joe, and I would check it off our bucket list with our journey to the 77th annual Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. This trip would be more than just a bucket list trip. We left Arizona with excitement in the air, the bikes loaded, and the road stretched out ahead of us as we set out for Sturgis, South Dakota. We left on Thursday, August 3rd, and rolled back home to Arizona on Saturday, August 12th, 2017. And what happened in between? Well, that's where the story really began. The trip to Sturgis would lead us through several storms. Just north of Denver, we hit a stretch of really rough weather. Rain poured down in sheets, and that's when we saw them. 4 riders on their way to Sturgis, huddled along the highway, soaked and trying to find shelter. We pulled over, invited them in the RV, and waited out the storm. A reminder that the road binds us. You never leave a rider behind. As we got closer to South Dakota, the roads would change. First, we saw a few bikes, then dozens, then hundreds. Gas stations turned into biker meetups. Highway rest areas felt like mini rallies. And by the time we crossed into the Black Hills, cars were the minority. We were part of something much bigger now. Well, we rolled into our campgrounds just outside of Sturgis, not far from the action, but just far enough to hear crickets at night instead of the exhaust pipe. We unloaded the motorcycles, set up camp, and just like that, we were officially part of the rally. Our first excursion was the legendary town of Denver. Once a lawless gold rush camp, it was the final stop for Wild Bill Hickok, shot during a poker game holding the now infamous Dead Man's Hand. Today, Deadwood blends its Wild West past with modern-day tourism. We walked the same sidewalks that outlaws and sheriffs did back in the 1870s, only now with more Harley-Davidsons parked out front. Our next adventure was a trip to Wall Drugs en route to the Badlands. No trip to South Dakota is complete without a stop at Wall Drug, a quirky tourist detour, and we loved every minute of it. It started way back in 1931 as a tiny drugstore offering free ice water to travelers. Now, it's a 76,000 square foot roadside wonderland with everything from cowboy boots to fresh donuts. Heck, they even have its own church inside there. Wall Drug is still famous for its free ice water. We explored this amazing place, bought a few souvenirs, and stretched our legs before the next iconic destination. After visiting Wall Drugs, we were on our way through one of the most surreal landscapes we've ever seen. Badlands National Park. The name might sound harsh, but the ride, absolutely incredible. The roads wind through towering spires, layered cliffs, and deep, rugged canyons, all carved by centuries of wind and water. It felt like riding across another planet. Jagged ridges would suddenly give way to rolling prairies. The sun lit up the rock layers in shades of red, gold, and gray. We stopped often, partly for photos, partly because you just need a moment to take it all in. And for a rider, those smooth, curvy roads through the Badlands are pure therapy. It was peaceful, it was majestic, and it was almost spiritual. You don't just ride the Badlands, you feel them. The next day, our adventures took us to Keystone before heading to Mount Rushmore. A small but lively town tucked in the Black Hills. It's filled with Western saloons, gift shops, and tourists riding the high of anticipation. We headed out of Keystone, and then like clockwork, you round the curve, and there they are. 60-foot granite faces of Washington, Jefferson, Roosevelt, and Lincoln staring down through time. Visiting Mount Rushmore while attending the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally offers a unique opportunity to combine the excitement of the rally with a dose of American history and natural beauty. Built between 1927 and 1941, Mount Rushmore was sculpted to represent the birth, growth, and development and preservation of the U.S. Seeing it in person, on your bike, hits you different. It's not just a monument, it's a moment. Our next adventure would take us to Sundance on our way to the Devil's Tower. Heading west into Wyoming, we rolled into Sundance, a town famous for the Sundance Kid. He was jailed here in 1887, and it's where he got his nickname before teaming up with Butch Cassidy. The place still feels like an old Western movie set, quiet, rugged, and proud of its outlaw history. Sundance is known as the gateway to the Devil's Tower. Next, we headed for the Devil's Tower. Devil's Tower route takes you on a wide open road weaving through rolling hills, rock formations, pine forests, and ranch land stretching as far as the eyes can see. The Devil's Tower rises out of the plains like a forgotten skyscraper. You see the Devil's Tower miles ahead as you ride towards it. The Devil's Tower is a massive rock formation, 867 feet tall, rising dramatically from the prairie. It was America's first national monument. It's sacred to Native American tribes and unforgettable to every rider who sees it up close. We took our time and we walked around the base, stared in awe, and tried to process how something so massive could just be there. If you've seen Close Encounters, you know the feeling. That night, we hit the Buffalo Chip, the beating heart of Sturgis's nightlife. Imagine a biker Woodstock with custom bikes, wild parties, and a full concert stage. Sturgis is more than just a gathering of bikes. It's a massive celebration of music and entertainment. The rally hosts top-notch musical acts, ensuring the nights are filled with incredible performances and rockin' good times. We came that night to see the Doobie Brothers, legends in their own right. But surprise of the night was Justin Moore. He lit up the stage. The party at the Chip goes into the early morning, but we kept it chill and rolled back to our quiet camp. Miles in the saddle will do that to you. One of our favorite rides wasn't on the tourist map. The Van Acker Canyon road up to Nemo, a narrow, winding path through the woods with hardly any traffic and zero noise. Just the rumble of the motor and the smell of the pines. This was the kind of ride we came for. The next night, well, we made time for Main Street Sturgis. Main Street is a hub for the rally, a melting pot of motorcycle culture. With a plethora of events, vendors, and live music, you'll find everything from stunt shows and races to live music and countless vendors. And then there are thousands of bikes lining up like artwork, each more wild than the next. Candy paint, airbrush skulls, and chrome for days. Vendors sold everything from leather to LEDs. The people, well, a rainbow of characters. Wide-eyed tourists, hardcore veterans, and just about every biker in between. And yet, it was all chill. No fights, no drama, just bikes, stories, and good times. The next day, the ride took us to Custer State Park, and that was something else. Curving roads, granite peaks, and then right in front of us, Buffalo. Yep, you heard me, Buffalo, casually crossing the road like they owned it. Well, and honestly, they kinda do. It's wild and free out there. We felt lucky to be part of it. The next day was Needles Highway. This is a rider's dream. Twisting roads carved into the cliffs, tight tunnels barely wider than our handlebars, and hairpin turns that have you focused and flying. The rock formations called Needles pierce the sky, and every turn opens up a new jaw-dropping view. It's the rite of passage for riders here. Our next adventure was to Crazy Horse Memorial. We stopped at the Crazy Horse Memorial. a monument still being carved to honor the great Lakota leader. Bigger than Mount Rushmore, it's being sculpted entirely by hand, funded by donations, not government money. Standing in front of that mountain, you realize you're witnessing history in the making. And our last big ride was Spearfish Canyon. Spearfish Canyon is a ride we did several times while in Sturgis. It's a scenic 20-mile route with twisting turns, towering rock formations, and 3 waterfalls. Imagine winding through a 1,000-foot limestone canyon with the roar of your motorcycle echoing off the ancient ruins. That is Spearfish Canyon. Spearfish Canyon is one of the oldest and most magnificent canyons in the West, located in the northern portion of the Black Hills National Forest, along the state and national scenic byway. And at less than a mile wide, the canyon feels close and cozy. Well, after all the roads, laughs and mishaps, and all the miles, there's something special about pulling back into camp and sitting under the stars. Joe would man the grill, we would watch wild hogs, talk about each day, and just enjoy the ride that was behind us, and the one still yet to come. Sure, we had dead batteries, an oil leak, a wheel lock that almost got the better of me, but we also had each other and a trip that we'll never forget. Riding to Sturgis isn't just about the rally, it's about the ride, the road, and the moments that live forever in the rearview mirror. The breathtaking rides, immersive motorcycle culture, and world-class entertainment, diverse exhibitions, and rich history made this a trip to remember. Thanks for the memories, Sturgis. We would see you again in 2019, 2021, 2023, and the 85th Sturgis Rally in 2025. Safe riding, my friends.
Billy's tightening his nuts. We're in a town called Aladdin, Wyoming. Here you go, Brad.
See those guys?
The infamous buffalo chip. Well, that's one traffic jam, huh?